Oh, I see it.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way. Getting a little worried there for a second, but we're good to go today. I just know we are. So, anyway, round three. How you doing today, Trina? It seems like I ain't seen you since
Yeah, we've
yesterday.
tried. We've tried, but to no avail. But yes, it's so good to be here, and it's so good to be with everybody who's coming in.
Yeah, like I said, folks, I think we're good today. I think just slight misunderstanding. We're good to go. We ain't gonna talk about none of that. We're just gonna say hello to a few people, and I figured for the ones that made their way here early, I'd give them a little treat. This is
Yeah.
something I do not like doing. Let me repeat this: I do not like showing this. I don't like pictures, folks. You've heard me say it. I don't like being on camera. But my mom sent me a bunch of pictures from my youth and throughout the age of me coming up, growing up, me and her, and it was just me and her for many years. So I figured I'll share a few of those pictures as y'all start rolling in here in a minute. But anyway, let me say a graceful hello to Miss Trina Phoenix. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and I can't wait for everybody to see the little Milky pictures.
Oh my God.
Milky's mom.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to prepare you folks. First of all, I looked like Bozo the Clown when I was a kid. I had these big red curls. So you'll see a picture of that.
Adorable.
You'll also see me when I was in college and a heavy drinker weighing about 240 pounds. You'll see that. so
Absolutely. Let
you're
the
going
good
to get to
times
see
roll, right?
you're going to get to see the full gamut. Like I said, and I'm just showing this for the people, coming in soon. I may even trim this up. But no, I can't trim it because that screws Chad up. Well, I guess anybody that tunes in. But anyway, without further ado, I guess we could show a few of those real quick and give people
Right
a few
on.
minutes to get rolling in here. Do you have any objection?
No, I don't. I can't wait. Let everybody see little Milky. I love
Lord have mercy.
I
Once
know.
again,
Lord
folks,
have
I
mercy.
apologize if this offends anyone, but here we go. God, I can't believe I'm showing these. Thanks, Mom.
I love it.
I
Aw.
guess I'll start off there from the top left, and that was us at the beach a couple years ago, and that one was pretty soon there. All those top ones, and then God, I don't even know when that fourth picture from the top right is. But look at this here. Well, here I got the pointer. I forgot about that. This right here was definitely 70s. I guess I was probably, what, 7 there? That might have been 1980, somewhere around 79 or 80. And I mean, God almighty, look at this hair. Let me see if
I love it.
I'm glad you do.
It's so cute.
Whoops. Okay, I'm going to have to. I don't like this setup here. Here we go. It's not going to let me show you the hair over there. Well, anyway, we'll go down here. There's almost one over here with the red curls. I think, to be honest with you, I think I got stung by a jellyfish that day as well.
You know what?
Probably. If I was at the beach, I probably did.
My daughter got stung too by a jellyfish, by a stingray.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she sure did.
Ooh, stingray. That's a whole different ball game. Now, look here. I mean, back in the 80s, you had to have the members only jacket. That was
Absolutely.
a must. And then
Look
this
how
is,
pretty your mama looks.
I know, right? You can tell that's 80s with the makeup of the shadow.
Oh,
Pat
absolutely.
Benatar.
Love it.
And this is one of my favorite pictures, though. I love that. That one and this one here. Just
Aw.
like I said, it just made. Now I hate that picture there in my eyes. That's the newest picture of me. Like I'm a madman. Which, hey, most of y'all know me.
I'm a
Shoe
man.
fits, wear it.
I like it.
And then this like I said right here's where I was getting into the drinking in college and stuff like that. Okay, why ain't this going? Why can't I get this to work good? This is starting to tick me off. There we go. Big old fat boy here.
God love it.
Oh my God, get off that picture. God, get off there.
You're like, get off there.
Get off that picture. Nastiness. And that, of course, big there. And this is pretty much the way I look. It's just a couple years ago, too. So,
Yeah, I remember when you took that picture.
yeah. So, anyway, I figured I'd show a few of y'all those pictures while everybody rolled in.
I love it. Everybody's smiling and loving it. They're like, oh, this is heartwarming.
Oh, man, it's true. Like I said.
I like that.
So, there ain't a whole lot of pictures. I mean, that's probably most of the pictures I've had in my life right there, besides,
Wow.
school
Yeah.
pictures of
And
you.
see, I got photo albums and photo albums. I just love taking pictures. I loved it since the time I was a small kid.
Well, I'm not gonna lie though, that's something that I actually regret. Like even when I came out to Sedona a couple of years ago, I spent all that quality time and met so many wonderful people.
Yep.
And I got pictures of Sedona and the skies and things like that. But as far as you and other
No
people,
people. Yes. We
so that is
realized that
something I
after
will
we were
focus on.
done. Yeah, we were like, we didn't take any pictures of us.
Uh,
Cute. Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that's
that's
something I'm
hard.
going to be trying to more mindful of when I take, whenever I take my next voyage, whenever that may be.
Absolutely.
Who
Hopefully it's
knows?
sooner than later. I
Well,
just,
that's what I'm trying to manifest. So.
gosh almighty, I hope it's sooner than later. Yeah.
Anyway, well, we got 37 with us, so
It's funny. Wayne was talking about crashing your pad and doing some gardening. I was like, let's do it. I would love that.
hey, come on. I'd love to have y'all.
Oh, it'd be so much fun.
Oh, yeah,
Hanging out on
speaking of,
that land. Oh, I would
man,
love it.
actually, now that you said that here, I'll share this with y'all as well. I took this earlier tonight just because it was raining down here, and you can actually, get a good little lay of the property. Like I said, I call it piece of paradise because it truly is.
Oh,
Where is it?
the sea's so beautiful.
Sorry,
So
I'm still.
freaking so pretty.
Why? Oh, I probably hadn't refreshed yet. Anyway, let me go to sharing screen. Got old computers on your phone? Well, of course I do. I don't know why that video didn't come up.
Huh.
Let me try this again. Oh, well, I'll show it another time. Yeah. So anyway, do you have anything you'd like? Oh, one thing I did want to cover beforehand is y'all mentioned it today on Wayne's program how before we got cut off last night, we were actually I was going to talk about how like it shows the proof in the pudding. Like this is a powerful group.
Oh yeah.
And it's quite definitely, and I've been preaching like I don't care to just be at 1,000 subscribers. I would much rather have the quality group that I've got here, like my family. You all are my family, than quantity anytime. Because, like I said, folks, we're shining bright.
I know. I feel the same exact way, Brian. This tribe is unique. I mean, I've visited so many other chats, and it's just there's no community. It's just different. This is a special place.
Well, I've always took pride in I've always made sure that this remains a safe place for us, and I will continue to do that. And that's why I tell my moderators in chat, which all my moderators are the ones that's made this channel possible. That's why they are moderators. But people can have any form of opinion they want about anything, subject matter, or myself, really. I mean, there's a point to that as well. But if anybody attacks my guest or maliciously attacks anyone in the chat room, that's when you cut them. Otherwise, for opinion, let it ride. So anyway, you got anything you want to add?
No, just that if they're attacking you, I'm probably gonna get rid of them. Sorry.
I'm just saying it don't bother me. I mean, I've been called way
we don't normally even have that, which is so wonderful because I mean we're blessed. We have a unique group, a very unique, precious group of people.
And speaking of, I want to take this opportunity as well, because speaking of small platforms and stuff, we've been trying to tell us, especially when I had Robert V on, telling these other people in the community, get out there, and whether you even make it public or private, it doesn't matter, but make a video diary, put up some videos and stuff like that. Be that little light that shines. Get out there and spread this message. That's what we're here to do, folks. And every little pebble you tossed creates a bigger ripple. Absolutely. So, yeah, please don't think you don't have nothing to offer or add. You can just push a 10-second video and say, I love you guys. That's it.
Right.
I mean, it's that simple.
Absolutely. And putting that light into this forum, it's a gift.
Yep, it is. So here we go.
Let's
Okay.
get ready to start higher minds.
Yeah,
All right.
let's do some higher mind training. And like I said, folks, I'm telling you, after this, now I did come up to the conclusion that I will say, telepathy training, we're gonna kind of set that on the side right now. I don't know how that's going to be perceived here.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. We need to.
Yeah, so that may still be a private matter, or it may be on that other platform I was discussing real quick. Speaking of that
You know
other
what I
platform,
thought of, Brian?
what?
I wonder if you and I should do a pre-recorded and see how that goes, so it gives it some time to see if anything, and then if it seems fine, then maybe we could move forward.
I don't know. We'll ponder something like that.
Yeah, as I say, I wonder if there's a way to test it. I don't know.
I do want to show this real quick if it'll let me squeeze in there and get to it. It's not going to crap. I was wanting to show.
Queen of Courts. Oh, that is such good news. She's like, I'm in my house. Yay. Woo
Oh,
woo.
awesome. Well, congratulations.
Yeah. No, Truth in Me. Queen of Courts is at my house. Woo
Oh,
woo.
okay.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
making
yeah.
trouble. I missed it.
She got to be put on lockdown for a little bit.
Yeah.
Shelby Meyer, welcome. Yeah, let me say hi to everybody real quick. Golly, I about forgot. All right, here we go. Miss Julianne Payne from Down Under. Gerald M. Yates, welcome, welcome, welcome. Dominic Spiotto. There's Mr. James Broom. Good to see you, Miss Lyndall Davison. Always a pleasure. Blanca Lugardo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Miss Deborah Trudeau. Good to see you. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Who? Robert B. Miss Robin Hill, how you doing? Good to see you, hon. Nancy Birch, welcome, welcome, welcome from Northeast Arkansas. There's Truth and Me, good to see you. Darth Samuel Nagayan, always a pleasure, my friend. Taylor Ann, welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight will work. It will work. It will work. We've got this. Mm-hmm. Think agape, love always and forever. Good to see you. Who else we got going on? Eyes to See. Thankful, thankful, thankful. Miss Deborah L. Smith. Good to see you. There's Chloe. Chloe, we got this girl. Don't worry. Jolie, good to see you. It's been a while. There's Crystal MacArthur. Howdy, folks. Divine Empress, how's it going tonight? Good to see you. Dark Truth, hope everything's going well with you, huh? Good to see you. Jill Jarrett, how you doing? Come on down. You're the next contestant. Lost in Spurs. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who else we got going on? Yeah.
Hi, James.
Yeah, I love James. A great addition to the family. Jawway, how you doing? Celia and Favor, and don't we all need some of that? I know I say that every time, but it's just so fitting. Miss Travel
awesome.
444. I got
like
your
Sparkles. Where's Sparkles?
I know where is Sparkles.
I saw him last time.
Oh, really? Okay. He'll be rolling in here. There's Miss Travel 444. I got your email today. I will respond. And yes, I'm definitely interested.
Awesome.
Who else? Judith Nolan. What's going on? Y'all better hit that like button. Miss Mandy Moo. I got your email as well. Definitely will be getting back in touch with you. I went through and looked at them today. I haven't read them all, but I know who's contacted me. That's tomorrow. Yes. Who else we got going? Hey, I have to take it in increments. It's not really the overflow now. It's just me mentally dealing with it. There's Pa Joe. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Let's see who else we got going. I apologize if I have missed anybody. I don't think I have so far, but we'll keep rolling and see. Bree Cozy, come on down. Good to see you. Miss Mary Wins, the public relations department herself. I did get your address, Mary, and your t-shirt will be in the mail next week.
Yay.
Who else we got going on? Well, we got a new one here. GJ Ted, it's raining in North Carolina, buddy. It's or whoever, it's raining here too. Let me tell you, It is pouring and black skies, and the wind's just a howling. There's Miss Shannon Kling.
Hi, Shannon.
Johan.
Johan.
Who else we got going? I got far behind tonight. Oh, okay, I'm caught up. Our Project Skyfalls, just rolling in just in time.
I see.
All right, so now, do you have a donate button? I cannot use my PayPal right now. You can go to, I've got to donate, but you can go to Gmail and donate that way through Google Pay. I know you can donate that way as well. I don't know. I need to set up something like that. I've always used Google and PayPal. The Google actually is the best one out there, to be honest with you. It doesn't take a surcharge or anything. It goes straight into your bank account. So anybody that's doing donation things like that, I highly recommend Google Pay. I mean, PayPal's been wonderful, but you know, they take their chunk. They're not really taking it right. Well, they're taking it when you send somebody money, but if you transfer money and things like that, they're not charging right now. But
oh wow.
Yeah, just because of everything going on, I guess. So anyway, I'm not sure how to use that. I know you actually go to Gmail and you hit them 3 little dots, it'll pull up a Google thing. But anyway, I mean, I appreciate your love and support if you're not able to contribute. But with further avail, I see we're on chapter 43 and we're on page 239 of 333. And if there ain't no more questions, well, let's get it on.
Yes.
You take money orders, snail mail, honey. I'll take whatever. Donations and donations, just keep it going. And let me tell you, folks, that's one thing. You know, I haven't gotten some donations here lately, and I've put it all back in the channel. And that's like I was telling you earlier. We're going to be getting into some that visible and invisible worlds of God. I just purchased it, so everything I get's going back in here, and it's going to make this even a better channel. And the ventures I go out from here on other platforms, so it's only going to get better, folks.
Yay.
So thank you for your love and support, your donations, your kind words, your wishes, everything. I mean, like I was telling Trina before we came on, if I didn't know this was going to work tonight, I would have much rather just been laying on the couch or something, be lazy, because I was mentally wore out today after the past couple of days. But I knew it was going to work, and I know that we got some good chapters tonight. So third time's a charm, literally this time. Let's get it on.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. You got chat, right?
Yes, I do.
All right, chapter 43. The biggest mistake we can make is to think something outside of ourselves is the cause of our problems. If we do, we will look outside of ourselves for the solution. That closes the door for any continuing flow of knowledge and creative energy from the universal consciousness. When you come to your senses and realize the power to solve any problem is within you, you can go back to the well of universal consciousness, and the door will open back up for the flow of knowledge and creative energy. In a physical existence, before a serious challenge is resolved, there is fear. Fear is created in the reptilian brain as an electric impulse which releases hormones into the blood and excess electric energy into the nervous system. This creates the fight or flight scenario for the conscious mind. You have to choose if you will fight the challenge or run away from it. This is one of the strongest emotional energies there is. It has phenomenal power to manifest strength into a situation where you will succeed. If fear controls you, the reason for the fear will usually manifest itself. Remember, what is in your mind will control you. What we should do is break the challenge up into its many component parts so we can analyze and understand it better. Then we take it to the universal consciousness to brainstorm a solution to the satisfaction of everyone involved, or simply hand it over to the universal consciousness as consider it solved. Do not take counsel from your fears. Always set fear aside before making serious and major decisions. Since everything in creation is connected, we share everything. One-sided selfishness is contrary to universal law. The more we give with unconditional love, the more we receive. God, ain't that the truth? That is universal law.
Yep.
The universal law has a rule of tenfold returns in relation to what you give. When you give, it must be given with love. If you've given for the purpose of tenfold return, all bets are off. And real quick, Trina and I were just talking about that. We were talking about, now I'm sorry to put you out there, Marcia, but we were talking about you and how you've gifted so many people in this community, and myself and Trina included. And, you know, you do it for the love of it, for the joy, and you've helped other people I know in this community. And now, without even asking for it, it's coming back to her tenfold in more ways than one. So
It's
Give
so,
until it hurts, folks, because it will come back showering down upon you, I promise.
it really, really does. It
Yep.
really does. If we could really truly understand the power that this power bestows upon you, you would do acts of kindness and giving away almost everything you have because you just know it's just going to come back tenfold.
Yep.
It really works.
So anyway, I just get off the high horse real quick. I just wanted to put that out there. Like there's proof in the pudding, I promise. And sometimes you're like, well, I have nothing to give. Yes, you do. You have love.
That's right.
And I mean, I don't need no more than that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have to have money to get through and things like that. But what more you need than love? So anyway, I don't want to start
Yeah.
getting all emotional and shit.
I know, right? Right. Exactly.
So anyway, we'll continue. On selfishness and giving, a very insightful author wrote, there comes a time in the development of ourselves when the receiving from others, being the essence of selfishness, gives way to the irresistible urge to give to others and to grow beyond the limits of one's own skin, whether in the creation of the family or the building of a good society. We reach a point when we become saturated with ourselves and life demands, so we turn outwards to other human life. Then we cease being the passive vessel and we become the living spring. Life does not ask us our wishes in these matters, but in the very process of our biological maturing, it forces us to renounce our status as parasites upon life and summons us to become the patron of life. Again, wow. For the ardent observer, it is obvious life is all about giving, not about receiving or taking. If the giving is done with love and is in harmony with universal law, the receiving is automatic. Even one of the wealthiest and most materialistic people in American history, Paul Getty, said, if you help enough other people get what they want, you will always have what you want. He adhered to many spiritual principles without even knowing it because it was the right thing to do. We do not probe the universal consciousness to satisfy our needs. It is not getting a thing. When we go within in meditation, we formulate a colorful, detailed visual picture of what we desire. It must be to the benefit of more than one person and formulate it in your thoughts that way. See ourselves in it with love and emotion. Then we give it to the universal consciousness and know it is ours. It is done, so be it. In a spiritual existence, there are no beliefs, uncertainties, opposites, poverty, disease, or even death. So why are people not seeking this out more? The minds of men are very much controlled by the ones who tell us what to think. The molding of the minds of the masses have always been very effective. What people do not understand is that they do not even have to give up much of any real value physically. As they start their journey, the change for good is slow and gradual. As you grow, your nature will change and things will take care of themselves as you want them to. We can actually overlay the spiritual existence onto the physical life and have a wonderful combination. Many people have done this consciously. Some have ended up doing it unconsciously by just doing the right thing with integrity. Things or thoughts no longer control you. You raise above things and thought by controlling it. Spiritual growth manifests itself by improved life conditions, both physically and spiritually. As you grow, you are not exactly learning more or newer truth. Truth is in all things. It is rather that more truth is being unveiled to you. The more you practice, study, read, and submerge yourself in universal consciousness, the more freely the flow of universal consciousness will be. Truth and the power of manifestation will be easier and more accessible to you. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it will become. I have a saying I've been using for decades, and it fits right in. The harder I work, the luckier I get. With hard work in this case, I mean practice, practice, practice. Spirituality is a very personal thing. It's kind of like dying or going to prison. No one can do it for you. If you talk to someone about spiritual matters and they seem uninterested, speak no more. Never argue, never try to convince anyone. I have another saying, the one convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. When people come to you and ask questions, be there for them. Never brag about your spiritual development or conscious understanding in universal law or other spiritual things. It is foolish and will turn people away. Never diminish other people for lack of understanding and things they do or say. They are growing also. Never try to take the crutch away from them. They will walk away when they are ready. Just live your life and let your words of truth and the fruits on the tree demonstrate to others the worth of your actions, words, and spiritual consciousness. There is no destination in life, just constant growth and many stops along the way on a billion-year journey. In a physical existence, there's only one thing which is constant, and that is change. When one avenue of supply, material, or experience closes, a new one opens. A constantly changing scenery in the mind of created hologram is guaranteed and guided by our universal consciousness. This thing called life can be trying sometimes. So what is the purpose of it all? Have you ever heard that question? I'm interested in what your answer would be. We should be thinking about our spiritual life when we answer that. The philosophy of the one who dies with the most toy wins will not suffice. Guess what? He's still dead. Long term, there is only one life. That life's purpose is not to amass wealth and toys for yourself only, but to be a servant for good and learn and grow spiritually. We all learn and grow at different rates, and we are all children of universal consciousness. For the serious student of the Bible, think on this. Why did Yeshua say, I and my Father are one? It should mean, I am the individualization of God. We are the same. We are one, and so are you. Therefore, spiritually, to believe any person or group of people are inferior is to say God is inferior. We can distinguish between spiritual and physical expressions of man, between the real and the illusion, knowing one is the creation of the other. Therefore, they are one. We can choose who we surround ourselves with. If we surround ourselves with more spiritually advanced and seeking people, it will advance and speed up our growth. Do not forget and turn away the seekers when they come, and they will. When you are on your path, stay on your path. Do not walk both sides of the fence. If you keep practicing your old habits of disharmony while inviting the Universal Father and Christ consciousness into your life, there will be conflict which can wreck all harmony in your life. And the magic number 44, chapter 44. You got any questions? You disappeared on me over there.
Nope, everything's doing good. I'm just listening, watching chat. They're so awesome.
Well, you covered your camera.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you've been covered up for a while.
Yeah, I was holding up my phone. I was reading the chat.
I was like, dang, what's she doing over there?
Oh, nothing. I was watching chat.
Oh, Lord. So no questions, huh? That was pretty good. I mean, it's so funny. And this happens every time I read it. It seems like whatever we've been talking about past few days, it ends up coming up in the book right after. And I promise you, folks, I'm not reading ahead and going and living my life like that. God, I ain't got time for that. That's right. Just the way living in the flow.
It totally is. And it's crazy how everything's coming up with such powerful synchronicities, even down to using the same words, researching the same topics, following the same channels. We're totally linking up together in our minds, and it's profound.
Absolutely. Oh, Mary, thank you for
such a large group like this that people are intimately connecting. It's powerful.
Well, that's, I mean, you know, like, you know me, I'm not one toot my own horn at all. But like, the one thing that this is like, this is showing me, like, you know, I knew, like I said, that this was a powerful group. But I mean, these past 2 days just put the nail in it for me. Like, here we are, it's just this little old dingy boat cruising along, just let the disco balls hanging off the side. You know what I'm saying? It's a party.
Did you hear about Gaza? He sent out an email to me and Wayne and a few others, and he was asking for prayers because he had someone who cares about a lot had to go in for a very serious tumor removal on the liver with cancer, and he wasn't expected to make through it. He's in his late 80s or 90s. He's very old, getting up there where these surgeries are really risky. So he put out a call to prayer. They said that he got through that surgery so amazing. His recovery is beyond imagination. And he says it's because of the power of what we do and what we do in this community. He is certain of it. That was a powerful, beautiful confirmation.
I mean, how many times have we seen this time and time again?
I know. And we're going to get stronger and better and more focused. And wait, guys,
Yeah.
we're going to see people walking on water and we're just going to be laughing about it.
That's what I'm saying. We're that little dinghy, sitting on the dock as these big cruise ships coming in. We got the disco balls hanging off the side, lights shooting everywhere.
Absolutely.
Like, God, look at that boat. Them people are crazy.
Yeah, be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now.
Hey, but I'll take it. I like being that guy.
Me too. It's fun.
All right. Well, I guess we ain't got no questions. We'll keep it rolling. Chapter 44.
Happy. Everybody's like blessings and good force. Hi, everyone. Yeah, everybody dance. I'll laugh aloud. Disco.
Oh, I'm telling you, I feel the energy. You ain't got to tell me nothing. I don't even have to look at chat.
Yeah, they're all just doing good.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, if Big Al's listening, we need a meme for that. We need a little dinghy boat with disco balls and stuff. I'll need to get on that.
Absolutely. Oh gosh, how fun.
Yeah.
How fun.
All right, I'm excited about this. I mean, chapter 44, there's got to be some nuggets in this one.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh boy, get ready. Here we go.
All right, well, here we go. 44 on 5/5/2020 at 10:31. So then, a good question here is, how do you know you're on the right path? I think that's the $1 million question.
Right.
You don't. So you just trust. It's like we say in Europe, all roads lead to Rome, or all roads. Well, I guess that's
all roads, all roads. Yes, it is true. All
Freudian slip.
And it's truth.
It is.
Yes.
Woo, starting to sweat over here. Mm-hmm. Here we go. There's only one destination, but there are many paths leading there. Life will supply the experiences that will help your spiritual evolution the most at the time. Sit back and enjoy the ride. It will give you the pleasures of sweet success and happiness, or the horrors of the nightmares in the dark. It is all an illusion. It is all your ride, because inquiring souls want to know. They want to experience it all. If you're more loving, more forgiving, more non-judgmental, more peaceful, happier, and know who you are, you're on the right path. Yeah. When you understand and accept that you are an individual expression of the universal consciousness, you develop grace with a totally different level of individual creative spiritual freedom. At first, it starts sporadically, then it gets more and more consistent. The more you submerge yourself in the creative process, the more successful you will be. Ain't that the truth? Remember also, linear time is an illusion. So timing of what you want to manifest may be a wild card until you have perfected the flow of universal creative consciousness. Being a part of the all does not take away any effects from the life lessons you have gained because of the perceived individuality. Whenever you manifest from the universal consciousness, you create for yourself as well as universally for the collective mind. In all your manifestations, keep this in mind. You are not only responsible for yourself. Through your manifestations and your perceived individual personality, the Universal Father finds a way to express himself or herself and enjoy the activities of the mental and physical reality through you because he or she is a part of you.
God, that's profound.
It's just so simple. Keep it simple, stupid.
It's so profound, because I was told this so many times and it's never ever confirmed. Yep. And it's confirming it. It blows my mind. This book is amazing, Brian. Amazing.
It found me. I can't take credit for it. It found me.
It is literally profound. I don't think I've seen a book that is literally, this is a really powerful read. Really
well, like I said, I took the course and when I heard, and like I said, but I'm learning all over for the first time reading through it. Like this is more mind blowing than actually taking the course, to be honest.
Right. I think when you go through information a couple times, it anchors better. It goes through a different level of understanding.
Like I said, and the reason I like this book is because these are things that we've all grew up, even under, Christianity or Buddhism, whatever, religious denomination you may come through. It's things that we grew up understanding, but it puts it all out there in the terminology that we're going through now. And it just simplifies everything. This is what we're doing today. If you're truly in this spiritual movement that we're doing and doing the work and dropping all that other things, you understand this. This is what
Yeah,
you're living right now.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
anyway, we'll continue.
Well, I just had to say, I'm just like profoundly blown away by that. And this is beautiful. And thank you for sharing this.
Well,
Because
thank
I
you.
really do. This is one of my most favorite books I've read in a long time.
And like I said, anybody that ain't got it, email me. I'll shoot you a copy of it. No problem. Please, I want everybody to have this, and I want you to share it with other people. That's something. I'm glad you said that. That's something I wanted to go over tonight. If you have, a lot of people still indoctrinated in Christianity and things, this is the perfect book to present to them because it does talk about God and. So give this to them and present it to them as Jesus's original teachings.
You know what's amazing about this too is that it gives you things to do. Like, how can you get through these hard things? Well, this is how you start to shift your consciousness. This is how you create good things in your world. These are the steps. This is like a roadmap to your
Yep.
own treasure house.
Bingo. Yep.
Brilliant.
You got it. Anyway, here we go. Never hide yourself. Do what you feel in your heart is the right thing to do to create harmony and balance. By that, you allow the Universal Father to be an inspiration to others through you. We learn and continue or grow in continuous stages. When it comes to religion, it always seems as if we start out believing as our parents do or as the community provides, just as we were saying. If we as children start thinking outside of what is the norm, we're usually ushered back in line again. After we become adults, we are allowed to think on our own, more so, but still judged by the community and the people around us. From then on is when the real growth starts, usually. At first, we may look at God as this old man or spirit separate from us. Then we may grow and see God in everything around us, but still separate from us. Lastly, we will realize that the Universal Father is part of us and there is no duality or separation. The same thing is true with the teaching and learning. First, we learn from our parents, then we learn from books, then we may learn from classes and personal teachers. Next, we may be visited by higher evolved spiritual entities and learn from them. Lastly, we are taught directly from universal consciousness itself. Sometimes we are able to tap directly into the universal consciousness very early and receive the truth and knowledge from there. Our consciousness vibration is raised for each stage we go through. Eventually, the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and the universal consciousness will act as one. Our three minds coexist in our three bodies, but in each physical existence, there is only one life. Okay. Sorry, I just got a thought. The physical, mental, and spiritual bodies are only outward expressions of the soul, which again is part of the universal consciousness. The body carries out their activities of life, so the soul will have its experiences. None are separate from the others. Everything is connected through a subatomic, high vibratory, spiritually intelligent, and creative energy wave system. This is the universal consciousness by whom and which we are created. Our home, he, it, and we are all one mind. The universal mind, God, universal consciousness. Together, physically, mentally, and spiritually, we have created the holographic illusion we see around us, which we call the universe. There's only one creation with a myriad of different expressions of it. Remember the tree in the middle of the field and all its roots? All of creation is a living, intelligent organism playing out its activities through the conscious, self-aware, and intelligent hologram. Every different expression of the universal consciousness, including us, has the intelligence, capability, and power to rearrange the structure and fabric or portions of the holographic thought created universe to resemble images created in our mind. Through doing this, we will draw it to us and place it in linear physical time and space, both present and future. This is manifestation, and you are the manifester. To someone in the past, it would appear as magic, but it simply conforms to a combination of physical, mental, and spiritual science. The manifestation sounds quite complicated until we learn how to think of it. Here we go again. Remember the tree with a large root system. Think of it in concept first, then technique. Our universe is totally opposite of what most people would think. We have been walking around thinking our Cadillac automobile and the bowl of oatmeal for breakfast is the real thing, and non-physical things like souls and this thing called universal consciousness as not being real. And then being non-committal as most humans are, they often go to church on Sundays anyway in case there's something to this God. It is totally opposite. The spiritual, all-encompassing universal consciousness and our part of it as one is the only thing eternal and real. What you see around you is a conglomerate of wishes, hopes, dreams, fears, nightmares, inventions, and spiritual consciousness created for the benefit of souls so it can play, manifest, learn, grow in its perceived individuality in cooperation with our physical and mental minds. All physical existence is self-rearranging and sustained by thought until it is altered by a stronger and more creative spiritual intelligence. Once holographic matter has been arranged into physically recognizable shapes in the holographic physical creation, it stays in the holographic physical creation and functions according to the physical law of physics. In a physical reality, nothing is permanent in its present form. Everything has a life cycle. All physical manifestations start with inspiration, which is the spark of holographic life. Then this life exists in concept. From there, it goes to visualization and form, and to detail, and to experiments of mind and form. From there, it goes to prototype, adjustments, and completion. This is the basic process of physical manifestation. Then comes the decay, usually at the same time as repair to slow down the process of decay. Then it goes to wear, obsolescence, and termination. All physical manifestations go through this life cycle. Contrary to that, the spiritual mind, soul, universal consciousness is eternal. No wearing out, no repair. It never dies. It is constantly growing and improving in its capacity to create and sustain life. It will reach a point where a soul or spark of spiritual life no longer is in need of physical existence, but will participate in learning and growing in a higher vibratory holographic existence, ascension. So it will continue until it reaches at an even higher vibration and spiritual capacity and purity, so it can join back into the great sea of light, often referred to within religions as heaven, which is the home of the Universal Father, from where we came to where we will return. I don't totally agree with that point, but anyway, that's another. This great sea of light.
Ryan, I love it when you disagree with stuff because that's discernment, and that's
no, you're right. Yeah,
absolutely. You follow your gut no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the Great Sea of Light is not really a place; it's just a collective. That's the only thing I have to differ.
Right, but see how you still have that discernment. You're like, no, that's not right for me, and that's okay. That is so okay. We all see things a little bit different, and no, like you see one piece of information that doesn't resonate with you, don't shut off the rest of the message, you know. But what does not resonate, throw it away without any concern about it whatsoever. Throw it down the toilet and flush it. Goodbye. Yeah, don't eat it. Yeah.
Okay, do we have any questions?
Yeah, Jill wanted to know, could you please give the name and the author of the book? A lot of people want to buy the hardback book.
Yeah, it's Spiritual Science, The Guide to Universal Consciousness by Agnost, Aagenost.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So, spiritual science, the guide to universal consciousness, and he's got a YouTube channel. It's called the Universal Consciousness Show. So, if anybody wants to, it's just a radio program. I mean, you're not going to see him really. You'll see his picture and whoever his guest is, but it's just a preview of the radio program that he does internationally. So,
Right on.
I have
He
seen an
is
email and
brilliant.
invited him, but I haven't had a response. So.
Yeah, he is a brilliant man for sure. He's done his work. It's really
Well,
spot
and the thing was, he was just like, I mean, I don't think you have to be this scientist or scholar. Like, look at us. We're some of the
on.
most,
Right.
advanced people there is. And just like him, he was just an airline pilot, and
I hate to
he
say
wore
it.
many hats. Actually,
One of the
like Wayne.
smartest people I've ever met in this world was Tesla. He was not an educated man, ever.
So I'm saying that you don't have to
Yeah.
go to school because it's already out there. It's in here.
Well, bingo. And he was channeling information and getting downloads from the ether. So we don't know exactly how he was doing it, if he was getting it from another entity or if he was channeling from his own higher self. But he would literally go and get these blueprints from the ether, and then he would build them in the third dimensional realm. This is what we're supposed to be doing too.
That's what I was going to say. The thing is, each and every one of us are capable of doing the exact same thing.
Yes, absolutely. That's why we got to build heaven in our imaginations and focus on it so we can bring it into the third dimension.
Yep. So go create. I keep saying it. All right, we got time for another one, don't we? Yeah, 45.
Right on.
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Having said that, maybe it is appropriate to talk a little more about this imaginary thing called time. It is a difficult thing to understand. We all think we know what it is, but nope. Most of us are totally wrong. On the surface, it appears as the present moment is the only thing there is. Life always happens now. Even past memory and future visualized events can only be experienced in the now, normally. You remember and anticipate these moments now. Do not confuse the concept of time with what happens in the moment of time. Content has nothing to do with the space within time. Linear time is a mind-created illusion. It only exists in your mind. It has no objective existence out there. It is created for sensory perception only. So the soul, through its mind, can enjoy the happenings and goings on in the denser physical existence, where it is not possible to have everything happening at the same time. And here's the stickler. There is no scientific evidence for the existence of time. We only see and imagine the physical effects of the concept. Here's something that must be clarified. We are used to saying that outside of the physical existence, there is no time. Well, that is not totally correct. Time also exists in parts of the lower vibrations of the mental projections and the astral worlds. The astral existence is non-physical and viewed as totally opposite of what is the physical, as you would look in the mirror. Entities living there have bodies of this astral substance. It is much less dense than the physical, and time there is faster. I guess that would be their plasma or light body. The frames of present moments are further apart, so things happen quicker. An astral body has no intelligence of its own. It operates only from memory. While a physical body is alive, it has an astral body attached to it also. They're kind of like a hand and glove, but the astral body can leave and return to the physical body for purposes of and in service of to the physical body for consciousness. The physical body quits functioning, it dies. The astral body also dies, disintegrates, and drifts off to the astral graveyard. The mental body is normally floating around your body and often changes intensity and form according to the mental output of the physical body. The mental body will also disintegrate and break up after physical termination. The mental body has an intelligence of its own because it holds the record of everything you have thought and experienced. Time in the lower vibrations of the mental existence is also quicker. From there on into the higher vibration, it all floats together in the oneness of unity. We all and it all becomes one. If anyone in the oneness wants to communicate with us, they must lower their vibration down to our level to engage in any communication. The only time that may not be so is if we raise our vibration and go into the oneness to communicate with it. Speaking of time, some of you out there just had a brilliant thought, actually a question. Can there actually be an effect off of something that does not exist? Can there be an effect off of something that does not exist?
Yes, I would say yes.
Okay. Wow, you guys are sharp. By now, you have also answered your own question. Yes, there can be, because both are an illusion. The effects we see are the result of things brought into an artificial existence in an illusionary hologram. In order to create the effects of time, all the present moments are stacked one after another, so there are uncountable numbers of them per second. When the mind runs the movie of all those present moments, it happens so quick it appears as a continuous flow of time. The effects are obvious. Look at your picture now compared to 30 seconds ago. Not you ladies, you look just as good as you did 30 seconds ago. Of course, if you have taken lots of vitamin E, human growth hormone, stem cell therapy, there have been eating healthy with raw natural foods, and of course taken the enzyme which reverses the aging process, there should be no difference for anyone. Actually, all you need is the enzyme, which 2 doctors got the Nobel Prize for the discovery. All the rest just keeps you healthy. Like I said before, aging is a disease and it can be cured. The technology is there now. Ask me sometime and I will tell you more about it, how it can be done and where you can find the enzyme.
Wow.
Let's see how long this one is real quick. Oh, that's short. We'll read over that one.
Okay, that's amazing about that enzyme. I've heard of this before.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about, like and that's since we're talking about that, I've been beating this drum. Y'all know how I am. I pound shit in your head until you get it. Or try to.
I love it.
But I'm telling you, I've been working on this, and that's the only reason I'm trying to pound it into y'all. It's go in and do these meditations and focus on repairing your DNA and stuff. And I'm telling you, that's something that just came to me too. Maybe that's why I'm so mentally drained today. Like, because I've been going there and trying to connect DNA and work on my telomeres and extend them. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying.
That's how you do it. You do it just by that. You go with your own intuition and just follow your own pictures, images, nudges, knowings, gut feelings. It's yours. It's your creation. You can do it any way you want. And just to have the intention of it sometimes is all that's needed.
No, you're spot on. You're right. Because I mean, like I said, my biggest hurdle forever was just believing in myself, and now that I believe in myself, it's just like let's do it. Whatever, I'm done.
And I realized that truth was when I saw one of my clients regenerate her entire spinal column, and she had 7 degenerative spinal diseases. And medicine had exhausted the options. There was nothing left for her, just nothing. And she was looking at paralyzation within 6 to 9 months. And she reconstituted her entire body. And, you could ask her today, how'd you do that? She could just simply tell you, I have no idea. All I know is that it worked. You don't need to know all the details to heal yourself, to put yourself back together. There's a divine intelligence inside of you that makes your heart beat and your eyes blink and your hair grow that we will probably never absolutely be able to comprehend the wisdom.
Just know that you are literally capable of anything that you believe that you're capable of doing.
Bingo.
Yep. So, all right. So we'll finish up these last 2 chapters and maybe we'll talk some with the chat.
Right on.
All right, here we go. Chapter 46. We keep speaking of consciousness, but most of us are not really sure of what it is. We know we have it, but what else has consciousness? Mm-hmm. We know most animals can think to a certain extent. We see birds can. What about fish? We would think so. What about plants? Would they have consciousness and be able to think? First thing that comes to your mind is, nah, they cannot think. No, that ain't the first thing that comes to my mind. I think yes, they can.
I do too.
Do not be so fast to judge. Scientific experiments in the 1960s by Cleve Baxter, without a doubt, can prove that plants has consciousness and knows what is going on around them. Yeah, I talk to my plants. Cleve Baxter attached a lie detector or a polygraph to leaves of a small indoor plant. He tried burning the leaf with a match, and what was surprised to see that the lie detector needle reacted frantically upward on the graph several seconds before he lit the match, just knowing with that intention. The plant was able to read his mind and knew his intentions, like I just said. This was done many times with the same reaction. Also, ever so often, he lit the match with no intention to burn the plant, and the plant displayed no reaction at all. More amazing was that the plant displayed a shock when Baxter dropped several live shrimps into a pot of boiling water. Wow. In fact, it displayed a reaction as if it was fainting for 5 to 10 seconds. It became very clear that the plant was aware of the shrimps being killed and what was going on around it. These experiments clearly prove that plants are not just dumb plants, but they have consciousness. For those of you who are interested, get the book, The Secret Life of Plants, and you can read about these and other amazing experiments. Other experiments were done at Duke University by parapsychologist J.B. Ryan and Reverend Franklin Lohr, where a group prayed over plants, and the plants grew much better than plants that were ignored. They also prayed against some plants and said they hated them. These plants grew poorly, just like Emoto's work. Some of them even died. Yes. So that's basically like he was doing the Emoto work on plants, which, like I said, I talk to my plants, and they do better.
They do. I play music for mine, and I talk to them. And I saw a study one time when I was in college that blew my mind. Was the scientists they wanted to see if plants had consciousness, and they did a similar study like the burning thing. But what they did was they had 3 cabbage plants and 3 different scientists. And the first scientist came into the cabbages and just looked at them and kind of just checked them out and was talking to him and was cool. The second one came in and was kind of indifferent, really didn't pay him no attention. Well, the third one came in and like destroyed a cabbage plant, and the plants, the other 2 plants, like they could hear them literally screaming for terror, could literally record and measure the vibrations of utter terror. The plants were watching their friend get murdered. They were literally like freaking out. So then they even furthered this to prove that the plants actually are aware. And what they did was they brought the 3 scientists back in at one at a time. And when the cabbage murderer came in, the other plants started screaming bloody murder again. They identified the murderer.
That's like, I've known people that grew marijuana in the past and stuff, and they would talk about like going and smoking on their plants stuff. I was like, that's stupid. I was like, basically you're sitting there smoking their friends in front of them. I'm like, why would you do that? Real quick, I saw Big Al's in chat. Big Al, you have a homework to do. We need a meme of a little bitty dingy party boat with disco balls and laser lights shooting off of it with a bunch of enlightened crazy people on it. So
heck yeah, life-size disco party barge pontoon boat.
Yeah. So that's your next meme project. We know you like making that. Or I assume you like making them. You make them well. So
yes, he does.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Our tribe on our vibe on our boat of happiness.
Yeah. Like I said, I can see it in my head. I'm picturing this little bitty fishing boat, like that holds 4 or 5 people, but I'm seeing like 20 people just standing in, like I said, with the disco ball.
Disco balls.
Oh, that'd be awesome. One of these days that, hopefully if this keeps rolling out, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and I am going to say that we are going to be doing that crystal dig in September. So we are going to do that crystal dig in September. We are going to do that crystal dig in September. Did I say that right? We are going to do that crystal dig in September.
So be it.
Yeah.
It is done.
So anyway.
request assistance to manipulate and work it all out. We'll show up.
Well, I'm glad we got to spend another day in the Milky Way today. It's nice to be back.
Me too. Oh my
Tomorrow
goodness.
I'm taking off.
Oh, we made it and it was wonderful and it's all good and beautiful. And I had a feeling it would be. So yay. Confirmation.
So now I guess I can go ahead and schedule some shows for this weekend. But don't worry, folks, we got plenty of good stuff,
Yes.
I know we can at least do this Sunday, Monday, so all I gotta do is worry about Friday, Saturday. So anybody out there, shoot me an email if you. I know I would like to get Big Al on here and Robert V at some point. Like I said, I'd like to do a night where, like I said, all my moderators are the ones that has made donations and made this possible. I'd love to do a moderator show. I mean, I know I got quite a few, but I know all of them couldn't make it. But I'd love to do a big moderator show like that. So maybe we can work on something doing like that in the next couple of weeks. But
Darth was asking about the crystals. He's like, what crystals? You want to explain it, Brian, how we were planning on the Arkansas trip and then it got canceled?
Yeah, we were going to do I'll get like a group and go to Arkansas and go to the mines down there and do a crystal dig in May. And then all this stuff, actually I had canceled it before all this went down. Maybe it was my intuition going through.
Well, you were supposed to get your back surgery, but that got canceled.
That was the main reason.
Yeah, everything's been canceled. So yeah.
So now I'm anticipating in September, we're going to get a group together and there's going to be camping available. There'll be discounted at hotels. We've got different options, but we're going to try to get something together in probably mid to second, third week of September. That way it's cooled down quite a bit. It'll still be hot down there in September though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to work on. So stay tuned for that. And, like I said, depending on how all this rolls out, I kind of anticipate, there's a few people here that's kind of close to me in this area. And, I might try to take some little short road trips and go see some of these people and do some shows. I do want to do things like that. And like I said, being able to breathe has opened up some avenues for things like that. So, and then eventually I'm going to get back out there to Phoenix and Sedona. So
I am so anticipating and desiring any kind of a meetup that we can manifest, because just to meet you guys in person, I've been blessed enough. I've literally had people come from out of state. I've had Judy come, and I've just had some really beautiful people come to me, and meeting a lot of these people that I've met. They're never in the chat, but they're one of the 59 in the chat room, but you don't see them.
Right.
But they're there, and this is how they found me. And the connections that we make when we're in personal space with each other is profound.
That's one thing I've been wanting. That's why I did this higher minds, and I was wanting to get telepathy, because I like I said, this kind of puts it out there simple, and it shows you, kind of get your toes wet a little bit as far as what we are capable of. But I've been wanting to try to, like I said, there's a method to madness. I wanted to work it up to show people a little bit what they're capable of. Because when we come together, I'm gonna knock your socks off. I'm telling you,
we're gonna have some fun playtime. Yeah.
So I mean, we're gonna have fun and stuff like that. But let me tell you, we're gonna be doing some powerful stuff too.
Precisely, but that's done in joy and done in fun. I like when I was in Sweet Hob, when we were doing these powerful exercises. Whoa, but it's so much fun to do these exercises. It's literally a good time. So yeah, you get to evolve and grow spiritually while just having the most fun you've had in a long time.
I think I'm inspired to do a shirt. I think I'm going to do This Little Light of Mine t-shirt.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So that might be what I work on tonight and tomorrow.
Right.
About time making that too. I mean, this little light of mine, people, get out there and let it shine.
That's it.
You shine so bright and just don't even know. Well, I know some of you know, but still, even though I know my light shine bright, most of the time I don't realize the capacity of it. But like I said, past couple of days, that shows you that we're talking about something important here.
We are, guys.
Yeah.
We really, really are. We really are.
I will still remain to keep this channel positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
And,
this is
this is the point of all of it, Brian. We're all trying to awaken and find truth. And this is literally how it's done. The steps in these books, these are how you get there. It literally is done this way.
Oh yeah, and real quick, since we got some people on, I'm not going to mention the name of this site, but this is it for anybody that wants to see it. You know what I'm talking about. If you've been here the past couple of days, this is what it looks like. You see the goldish up in the right-hand corner, the tree up here. It's got the tree of knowledge with the gold sunset.
Yep.
Milky Way Messenger is one word, all capital letters, capital M, capital W, capital M. Let's see if I can go back to that.
Yep. And just hit follow.
Yep.
Yep.
So
good to go.
And this is the place here.
Yep.
So anyway, I want to show that to you in case any of y'all are interested.
Yeah, for any reason, if we need to stay communicated, at least we'll have some options.
Yeah. And then, everybody knows Milky Way Weekly at Gmail. So you can always contact me there. And like I said, once again, thank you. I know I didn't get back to everybody last night, but I got inundated both nights when we got cut off with, Trina can tell you, my message after message after message after message. So sorry for the ones I didn't get back to. Like I said, I basically lost place, but we're all good here, folks. We're going to keep it rolling.
Thank you, Pure Love. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, it's not all capital letters. It's actually capital M, small ILKY, capital W, small AY, capital MEE, blah, blah, blah. So,
so MWM for the capitals, and the rest of it's lowercase.
Yep, but all one word.
You're awesome, though. Thank you for putting that up there.
Thank you for everybody that keeps posting on Facebook and sharing this. I mean, there's 58 folks with us still here tonight. That's proof in the puddings. Y'all getting out there and sharing and just putting that energy of love out there. We're attracting the ones we need to, and that's all the ones I care about.
Yep.
So until Friday, what do I always say?
Be the frequency you want to receive.
That's it. Until then, folks, have a wonderful night. And I truly love you all.
I love you too.
Go create.